This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio, where we broadcast live Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action, and we always welcome your calls, comments, and questions, even when we have guests in the studio. You can give us a call if you have a question for our guest at 347-857-3958. Again, the number here to the studio is 347-857-3958. Irv, my friend.
Yes, sir.
How was your turkey day?
It was fantastic, man.
Tell me about it.
First of all, nobody showed up.
What?
Which was it was absolutely fantastic.
So did you boycott family this time?
No, let me tell you what, man. First of all, this is the first Thanksgiving that we've had, literally at our house, where we watched football and nobody showed up to cheer for their team, and it was just us.
Get out of here.
How cool is that?
Man.
So we cooked way more than we needed. We ate it all, and then we slept. And then we woke up and we ate and we watched more football and then we slept.
Slept some more.
It's got to be, folks. Let me tell you what, John. Literally 20 years. Now, I've been married 30 years. So 20 years of Thanksgivings. So 20 Thanksgivings. By far, this one eclipsed all of the others.
Is that right?
Fantastic Thanksgiving. I gave thanks every time I woke up.
Wow. And it's funny, you had no guests, and I had people who drove in all the way from Atlanta.
Well, I'm not as famous as you.
Oh, man, come on. But,
yeah.
But you know what? I mean, the holiday was really good for us as well.
Yeah.
And I ate entirely too much.
Yeah.
As usual. But, nonetheless, we're glad to be back at work. We're glad to be back here doing the show. And we have two great guests. If you're watching at cruzandhughes.com, then you can see exactly what we're doing right here in the studio. If you're watching, we have two guests, one to my right, one to Irv's left.
Right.
And our guests today are Corey and Millie Kamadiner. And they own a company, Irv, called New Home Programs, as you know.
Yes.
They've done the show with us once before. I want to say it was, in 2011, sometime like that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they're back again. We're going to talk to them a little bit about their business. But what I also want to get into outside of what you guys do, I want to talk about running your business and some of the problems that you faced, how you've overcome those challenges. Because as you know, people who listen to this show are, for the most part, they're entrepreneurs, or they're, as Irv puts it, closet wannabes.
Yeah.
And I think you guys have done some fabulous things that definitely deserve to be noted while we're on the air today. Now, again, Corey and Millie, they run a company called newhomeprograms.com. Now, which one of you wants to give the elevator speech and tell us what exactly is New Home Programs?
Well, I'll do it, John.
Okay, all right.
Ladies first. NewHomePrograms.com is a real estate company that specializes in the first-time home buyers. We do anything in real estate, but that is the core of our business.
Okay.
And we are a faith-based company. So we target and we credit everything that we do towards God, because we have been successful since we started, and only God can just guide you every step of the way to this time.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic. And now, when you say faith-based, now I really want to put some emphasis on that, because some people use the term faith-based, but I want to, in terms of when you say giving all the credit to God, be a little bit more specific about that.
Well, we are a Christian company. Okay. We use the tool of real estate to tell the people about the kingdom of God.
Okay.
Everything that happens under the sun is not new.
Mm-hmm.
God has revealed everything, and so we use the tool of real estate and to bless the people, first of all, through so that they can have a legacy for their family. Okay, using biblical principles to show them how to maintain their finances, how to organize their finances, and how to accomplish the biggest purchase that they will ever have,
Wow.
which is a home.
Now, when I hear the name New Home Programs, I think of that, you're working with first-time home buyers primarily, or at least for the most part. Is that the way your business operates?
Well, we do target the first-time home buyer, but the term New Home Program, it was specifically designed to capture a top ranking in the search engines. So think about it. If you've never owned a home before and
Right.
you buy a home,
Right.
to you it is a new home. It's like
Really?
Right.
when your friend buys a car, oh, come and look at my new car. But wait a minute, that car's a 2001. But yeah, it's new to
It's
me.
new to him.
Yeah,
That's
Corey's
right.
saying it's new to
Absolutely.
you.
There you go. So, if you're going to do a search to purchase a home, it is a very good chance that you will use the word new, you'll use the word home, and if you don't have money for down payment, you're going to use the word programs or
No
down
doubt.
payment assistance.
That's right. Sure.
So what we did was we created a company name that would allow us to rank high on the internet, because statistics started to show us that when the internet came and homes started to be listing on internet and websites, that when a buyer starts the process, the first place he's going to go is the internet, and we wanted to capture that market on the internet. So that's why our company actually is newhomeprograms.com LLC. Our legal name is a .com company.
Wow.
That's
But
fantastic.
Also, when you take care of the little people, the people who need the down payment assistance and the credit and all of that, your word spreads out. And we recently closed $1 million home. A second buyer came to us. And you would think that, well, why did he come to us? Newhomeprograms.com. A lot of people, like you said, think, oh, that's only if it's my first home. But no, we helped anyone in real estate, and we were able to help this family. And we closed, 30 units apartment complex as well. So
Really?
we do anything in real estate as far as in real estate. we can
Commercial
help.
property,
Yes.
residential property.
Yes.
All right, I like that.
That's fantastic.
Now, Irv, think about what Corey just said in terms of trying to capture that internet market.
Right.
And we always talk about on this show
All
the
the time.
zero moment of truth,
That's right.
where Google says that I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 85% of all purchases of more than $1 first start as an internet search.
I believe it.
And so, and you had the presence of mind way back in, 2004, because that's when you guys started the or
The
registered the
online.
domain. Is that correct?
Well, we registered the domain and we launched a website portal of information that's catered to the first-time home buyer. And we wanted to see, as the years went by and the internet got more popular, would the traffic grow? Because to have a real estate company, if you don't have the buyers or the sellers, then you really have nothing. So
Yeah.
we wanted to get the buyers first and then go ahead and open the company. And that's our strategy in every city we go to. Get the buyers first, then invest in the physical things like the office and the
Sure.
utilities.
Sure.
And that was our strategy going back to 2004.
Now, are you considered then a buyer's agent? Is that for the most part the way that you guys work? You look for buyers for the most part, or do you do listings as well?
We do listings, but in this time in the economy, it's a buyer's market. So when we knew that the seller's market was going to pretty much go to the wayside, we said if we capture the majority of buyers in every city that we go to, that when there are homes for sale, we have the buyers.
Right.
So if you have 1,000 listings, but yet you don't have 1,000 buyers, you have no sale.
Right.
So our goal was to go where the commodity was. The buyer is the commodity right now, but it'll change again. It'll become a seller's market
Certainly.
really soon. So we do take listings. We actually list a lot of homes from builders. We have listings that are $500,000 listings.
Okay.
So we're not going to turn down business because even listings bring you more buyers.
Certainly.
So, but our goal is to capture the buyers in every city so that we can have the upper hand when it comes to the sales. Again, without buyers, you have no sale.
Now, new home programs. I was in the mortgage business for years, and I got out in 2005.
Okay.
Now, so I'm out of touch, as it were. But I'm thinking, what type of programs exist, if any, for someone who's looking to buy a home if they are a first-time home buyer? I mean, are there any specific programs that target that demographic?
Absolutely. We have this, every state has a bond program. Okay. The state of Texas, we have Bond 79. It targets, the specific income, specific family size. So there's things that us as realtors have to look at, just like a lender would, just to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we prepare that buyer before we actually send them to the bank. So there's down payment assistance programs in the city level, the state level. The lenders have their own program, so we have to kind of like look at what specific to that particular buyer.
And you guys research all this information.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right. Last month, the state of Texas just got their hands on $600 million federal money to boost the economy through housing. So the new bond program through the state of Texas is Bond 79. The buyer gets 5% down payment. You get a low interest rate of 3.5% fixed. And you can use the mortgage credit certificate program in combination, which means you can now get up to $2,000 rebate in your taxes every year as long as you own your house.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost nobody knows about that.
Man, and if someone wants to learn more about this information, they could always contact one of your agents at your office, correct?
Absolutely. We have all that information on the website. You have pretty pictures there for all our handsome and pretty ladies.
And the web address is newhomeprograms.com. Our guests today are Corey and Millie Kamadiner. They have a phenomenal story in terms of how they started their business, how they operate their business. They consider themselves to be what's called a faith-based company, and they give their honor and glory to their Lord, and they credit that as being the catalyst for why you guys have been so successful.
That is correct.
Absolutely.
Now, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, I want to sort of get into what cities that you guys operate in, because I know that you're not located just here in Houston. You also have some offices that you operate around the country. And we'll talk a little bit, too, Irv, about the growth that they're that they're looking to bring about.
I'm itching to get into that.
Well, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. The show is called Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It's the magazine that is for and about Houston's hottest entrepreneurs. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy of it, we'll be glad to send one to your email inbox. All you have to do is go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. Stay with us. More in a moment with Corey and Millie Kamadiner.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Steven, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruiseandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guests today are Corey and Millie Kamadiner. They run a company called NewHomePrograms.com. Now, this is a real estate firm. Now, Irv, it boggles the mind. Now, think about what we went through in this country.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say post-2008.
Right.
You had people running, and I mean running.
Hey, stampede, John.
A stampede of real estate people getting out of the business from 2008, 2009. Now, Millie and Corey start their company officially in 2010. You open up your brick and mortar shop, as it were. In 2010, when the walls are falling down,
the sky is falling.
What do you
outside.
think about that?
To me, let me preface this if I can. Faith-based businesses. A lot of people try to disconnect their business from faith.
Mm-hmm.
When the truth is, every enterprise takes its first forward step in total faith.
Absolutely.
Total faith. And what intrigued me about Corey and Millie is when I first met them, I met them here and really admired them because if you've ever been around these guys, they're magnetic. They sort of draw a crowd because, first of all, they're beautiful people, but then they're
figuratively and literally.
Yeah, and they're like that in and out. All right, and when you talk to them 5 minutes, you'll get it.
Is this where I pay you now?
No, it's true. But what I was going to say is that when you look at their business model, it runs so counter to what everybody else in the marketplace was doing.
Right.
That it draws your attention if you're a business person. And here I've been in finance for 26 years. And it intrigued me to look at their business model because everybody else is running, the sky is falling.
Everybody's losing money.
Everybody's losing money. Everybody's bleeding.
That's right.
And these guys built their business model on people that basically nobody else wanted to talk to.
Right.
All right. And so that allowed them to now capture a huge piece of the market because those people make up the biggest chunk of the market.
Yeah.
All right. And so when everybody else was running away from the market, they ran to the market.
Into it, yeah.
And to me, how can you not be blessed when you're serving people who otherwise would not be served?
Now, you mentioned something called kingdom principles, Corey. And explain that. Explain what that is.
Well, the kingdom principles it is kind of like rules or laws in the spiritual realm that when God speaks something into existence, it becomes an absolute. So if you just follow what he told you, even though it doesn't make logical sense, you have to prosper. And you just said something, I believe, prophetic. You said when the walls came crashing down in this city, in my mind, I think of the walls around Jericho.
Right.
When the walls fell, there was people in the city that ran away.
Right.
But the people outside the walls, what did they do? They ran into the city so that they could take possession, dominion.
That's right.
And that's how we look at it. We want to go in the cities where there is total ruin. In real estate, why? Because everyone else is jumping ship. But there'll still be a city left. Eventually, it will be rebuilt. And that's what we're doing. We're going in and taking dominion in places where God is sending people out because they lack faith. They don't understand the signs of the time. And that's, being faith-based, you have to understand God's timing, his agenda for humanity, his purpose specifically for your life. And when he tells you to do something, even though it contradicts the normal, you just do it with the hope that it's going to work out. And that's what we do. We just latch onto the word and we close our eyes and just walk by faith, because faith comes from hearing.
That's right.
Not from seeing, comes from hearing.
That's right.
So we just close our eyes, we don't look at the circumstances, and then we just continue to move forward.
And I tell you, for me, it was a little hard. Okay, we sit here, and I tell you, after this year, I know I grew a little bit more in my faith.
Mm-hmm.
God has sent us to Tampa, a city where I have never been to. I didn't know anybody. And to not just to live, but to open a business to help other families. Now we have people under our care.
Surely.
Okay. And if you are not totally convinced and convicted of the vision that you have in hand, don't move. And I tell this to the people who are thinking of opening a business or whatever. You have to be totally believe 100% in it, because there are people who are going to come against that vision.
Right.
And they're going to try to make you stumble, but you have to have that faith and say, you know what, I know who spoke.
Right.
And I'm going to walk by faith. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's very hard, but you have to stay true.
Well, let's talk about 2010. Now, you guys get started in 2010. There's a certain cost that comes with running and operating your own business. At what point did you realize your first profit, or at what point were you to the point where you say, you know what, the business is now at least paying for itself? How long did that take?
Well, when we start to make revenue, okay, a business will save the revenue and it will stockpile the money. We don't have that luxury because we have an agenda to take all 50 states. So if I was to make a penny in profit, it's already spent reinvesting. You got to be able to sow before you can reap. So when we started to make a profit, we didn't have the luxury of enjoying it. We were reinvesting it. Like if you look at our company bank account, almost every month it's going back down to zero.
Yeah.
We don't save money because we're reinvesting in money. Surely. So when we went to Tampa, God blessed us, and we had some money put aside off of some sales for that month, and it allowed us to put a deposit, 3 months deposit on the office that we were in. Now that was all of our money, so we had to rely on God to bless us a couple more months, because now we have an office. We're sitting on it for 2 months. We didn't have the money to put the furniture because, here's the thing that Florida got me, okay? And this is the difference between Florida and Texas, okay? Over there, their electricity is not deregulated. They needed a $1,000 deposit just to get the electricity on. To get the water turned on, $600 deposit. So we were running into issues just to be able to open an office, and we didn't know that cost was there.
Yeah.
So for 2 months, we have a nice office, no furniture, nothing. Now we had the utilities on. So we would just lay on our back in the office on the floor, and we would just look up to God and say, you told us to come. What are you going to do? You're going to not open it? And we already planned to have a grand opening date. I believe it was November 5th of 2011. So we're advertising around the city, telling people that what we're going to do, and we're going to take the market share, and, God's going to bless us. We didn't have anything. So 3 days prior to the grand opening, God blessed us with an abundance of sales that when that money came in, we already had the furniture picked out. We just start paying with the company card, and we had delivers literally coming in midnight before we're going to do the grand opening. We got musicians and bands and everything lined up.
Wow.
3 days prior is when the people started moving the furniture, and literally at midnight we were still putting the furniture together before the grand opening.
I absolutely
if that's not faith, Herb, I don't know.
I love it, John.
Wow.
How can God not bless somebody like that?
Absolutely.
It reminds me so much of the story of David in the Bible, because as soon as David figures out what the prize is,
that's right.
he goes, it's so funny because all of a sudden, Goliath is out storming and cussing about and all of this kind of stuff. And then we're talking about the Israeli army back then. Right. And they're like, come on, you're going to miss him. He's going to be out in a minute, and he's going to tell us what all he's going to do. And David shows up off the farm, and he's faith-filled because it takes faith to sit out in the fields with sheep. It just does.
Absolutely.
He shows up, and what does he do? When Goliath comes out, of course, David runs like the rest of them, right? Up until he figures out what the prize is. And all of a sudden, he's very different. Well, who is this talking this kind of trash out here?
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing. Folks, that's not what the Bible says. but his attitude was just so attractive, and it just strikes me about these guys, because how can God not bless somebody who operates this way? Because they're expecting.
I totally agree. The company, again, is newhomeprograms.com. I encourage you, if you are in the market for real estate of any sort, if you're looking to lease corporate space, if you're looking to list a home, if you're looking to purchase a home, I definitely encourage you to go on to newhomeprograms.com and find a location that's near you and do business with these people, because they are definitely salt of the earth. Now let's talk about locations. You guys started out here in Houston.
Correct.
And was your second location then in Tampa?
Yes.
Okay, now tell me, where do you guys operate right now?
We have our Houston office. We're building out a Sugar Land office right now to extend our territory to cover more of the Houston metropolitan area.
Okay.
We have an office up and running in Tampa. From that office, because Orlando is so close to Tampa, we had people that wanted to use our service, but we didn't have agents in Orlando, and we didn't want to have the people keep driving an hour to get to us. So one of our agents volunteered to move to Orlando. So we actually have an agent that's kind of like working as a satellite office in Orlando to handle that market.
Wow.
And then we also saw a trend of people in South Florida. They like to go back and forth to Tampa and also Orlando, and we just saw a need. So we just, wait upon the Lord. He said, look, you got the green light. Go down there. I will bless you if you go by faith. And many months ago, 4 months ago, we actually put our money down on another office. Haven't been to that office in months. It's just sitting there. So we're just waiting for God to provide. Now, we do have the buyers, because we always have buyers coming through our marketing. So we actually have buyers that we have one that's already on contract in South Florida, and we have many that we're getting approved. But we don't even physically have an operating office yet. So we're desperately needing agents in South Florida.
So we're hiring.
You're hiring.
Well, I was going to say, you know what, folks? If you're listening to this show and you happen to be in the South Florida area, you absolutely are being blessed by this show right now. And let me just say this. If you're listening to this show and you know somebody who could benefit from the services that these guys provide, you know what? Grab the link on this show, pass it along to them, let them hear the whole thing so they can get the whole story. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by RingCentral.com. To get RingCentral's virtual PBX for your business, you can give them a call today at 888-716-5022. Folks, don't go away. The education continues right after this.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guests today are Corey and Millie Kamadiner. They are the owners of a company called newhomeprograms.com. I encourage you, if you are in the Florida area, if you are in the Houston, Texas area, to definitely go onto their website, have a look at what they do. If you have a question for Corey or Millie, you're always welcome to give us a call. You can reach out to us right now at 347-857-3958. Again, this number here to the studio is 347-857-3958. Now, give me an idea of how many agents you guys have working for you right now.
I believe total we're up to about 22 in the Houston market. I believe we have about maybe 15, 16, and out in the Tampa area, we probably have about maybe 5 or 6.
Okay. Now, and if you're just joining into the show, I'm going to always encourage you to go to cruzandhughes.com and listen to the archives. You can catch this show in its entirety. And for those of you who may be just joining, Corey and Millie started this company essentially in 2010 when there was chaos in the housing industry. And you guys decided to start a company when everybody was fleeing the business, and you have done very well. You've grown considerably, and you have a couple of other cities that you're looking to expand into. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're already licensed in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And we're coming soon to North Carolina.
Okay.
God willing. So we're just extending the territory.
Wow. Now, how do you make a decision on what cities in which to go?
I'll tell you, but you got to be willing to receive it. The Lord will tell us specific states and specific cities where we need to go.
Now, with that being said, you got to give me a little bit about your experience in moving from Houston to Tampa. Now, Millie, you said earlier in the first segment that you guys really didn't know anyone. And here you decided to put a business in an area of the country that you had no business contacts in. You hadn't closed any homes there previously. So tell me, how has that experience been?
And when we got there, we found out that it was more devastated than Houston, the market was.
Wow.
And people saw us as, who are these new kids in this block?
Yeah.
You know,
do they know what they're doing?
Right.
Yeah.
They don't even know our city and our rules and regulations, but we had only a word, John. And we just took it by faith. I was a broker. I was an agent out there. And I just said, you know what? I have the knowledge. I passed the test. So that's all it takes. And I took it by faith. And you know what? It was like realtors who were out of the business came to our grand opening on last November, just to figure it out, why were we open? And it was like, if you're in the desert and there's people who remain for 40 days in the desert and you bring a bottle of water, everyone wanted that bottle.
Surely.
And so it was amazing because the day of our grand opening, we have approved clients. Okay, we didn't know anybody, but because of the website and the information that we have there, they were motivated to come and look. And so we had a great time on November 5th, and we were helping people at the same time when we were celebrating opening our doors. So we had other firms coming into our office because they didn't believe what was happening.
So basically, they're scouting you guys.
Yes,
they're trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah, and you gotta love that. I mean, I think that's like the ultimate flattery when all your competitors show up to try to figure out or reverse engineer whatever it is you're doing.
Absolutely, especially when you're as enthusiastic as
of course. And, you can't break it. But now I got to ask this question, guys. Either one of you can answer this, or perhaps both. But here's the question. When you come into a market, don't you run into those people who simply don't believe you? It just sounds too good to be true. You can't possibly be doing this. Nobody else is doing this. Why are you able to do what everybody else seemingly can't do? Do you run into that? And if so, how do you address that?
I want to just say this. The icing over the cake is our service to the buyer is free.
You understand that makes it worse, Millie.
Right.
Even more unbelievable.
So we get that all the time from the buyers and the realtors.
Of course.
Because, it's harder to retrain somebody who is set to a certain way of real estate. We are totally different. And Corey's going to laugh at this, but he's always saying that we are the SEALs of the real estate.
I'm loving that.
The Navy SEALs of real estate, because our
You're doing the dirty work.
It's just different.
That's
and,
right.
for a lot of people, it's not comfortable.
Right.
Sure. And you don't want, we had people, 2 agents that I can think of right now that said, you know what, I'm not used to this way of real estate. I'm just used to just show the houses. And that's all I want to do.
Right.
Because you have to be knowledgeable in order to help these clients. And we want to prepare you and to give you the tools so that you're fully prepared when you go out in battle,
Right.
And so we get it all the time.
You have to. It's part of the deal.
So you guys are operating 2 offices here in Houston and essentially two locations in Florida, because you have a satellite office in Orlando. You also have an office in Tampa. Now, I got to know, how much business experience did you all have between you when you started this business?
We had none.
Zero.
We had the Bible. That's all we needed.
I was even scared of the idea because it was only a paper. He just draw in a paper the idea. And John, to see that come to life, it was, I tell you, I cried. And when the second office was open, I was just, okay, this is unbelievable. I haven't even finished college. And here I am taking care of families older than me, and it's just helping them live a legacy. So if not God, tell me who.
Then who? I totally agree. So you say that Corey came with this idea and you're just wondering, how are we going to do this? And it happened. And not only has it happened, it's still happening because you guys are advancing your business model. Now, how important has the internet been to the existence of your business?
The internet, I would say, is the backbone. Because again, the statistics just came out to the Association of Realtors for 2012, and it's saying that when a person is going to start the home buying process, more than 89% started with the internet. So the internet is the tool that we use to draw the people in. We use it to educate them. Also, we use the internet, our website, to educate our realtors, because we want to have a well-rounded sales force.
Absolutely.
Okay, we don't just want someone who knows how to show a home.
Right.
You got to know how to fix people's credit, get their credit scores up. You got to know the guidelines for all the types of loans. You got to know all the down payment assistance program. And the website that we have is designed to educate our agents to be well-rounded.
Right.
So the internet is very important. And right now, we have 114,000 homes you can look for right now through our website. So we tap into all the MLS in every city that we go to. So we're creating a website portal just like Realtor.com and Truilla. We're doing the same thing. So what happens when we start tapping into the local MLS and we start having those listings on our website, our traffic doubles in every city as soon as we connect that with our website.
Irv, you and I are hard on small businesses here.
Of course.
And, Irv and I often say on this show that there's nothing wrong with being a small business, but there's everything in the world wrong with looking like one. And one of the things that I do want to commend you all is that from day one, you've always had a national feel about everything that you've produced, your business card, your logo, your website. Right. And I encourage each and every one of our listeners, if you are listening right now, go and have a look at their business Facebook page that I just liked, by the way, the one that you've done in Spanish.
In Spanish, yeah.
And so I don't speak a word of Spanish, but I'm just going through there looking at pictures and looking at the comments. And so my thing is that I think it's incumbent upon small business people, just because you're small, you still have to do those things that give you a big business feel, but you can still have that big, that small business approach to how you service your clients.
Sure. And not only that, but John, that personal touch, that's a big deal. If you can create a model that will allow you to have broad reach that the internet brings you, and then as a result of that, bring people into an environment where they're going to get the personal touch, the personal service, the interpersonal relationship gets built. That's valuable. We talk about it on this show, John, all the time. I'm big on that. I believe, folks, the new currency is trust.
Right.
And boy, let me tell you what, you can't build trust if you don't have a relationship. If
There
you
you go.
can't look at that person across the table or ride in the car with them or understand what is driving and motivating them, it's tough to build trust.
Certainly.
And a lot of people are trying to get away from that. And these guys, one of the things that's, because of their foundation, that's one of the things that I believe is a true value in what they're doing, is because that their system automatically builds that trust, and that's a big deal. You can spin that.
Well, with the .com in their name, newhomeprograms.com, do you guys spend money each month on like optimization and that sort of thing? I mean, how are you marketing your website?
He's about to laugh.
That's a Corey thing.
That's a Corey question.
Okay, we do spend money on search engine optimization because there's keywords like down payment assistance or new home builders.
Sure.
Okay, so we'd have an SEO team that monthly they're submitting certain keywords and they're creating backlinks to our website. But also we have pay-per-click, Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So that's a whole different type of marketing of your website. Getting the sponsored ads.
Sure.
And our goal is, and this is something that we haven't really released to the public yet, but we also own over 50 website blog sites. For every state, we have a specific website, like we own FloridaHomePrograms.com, HawaiiHomePrograms.com, MarylandHomePrograms.com.
You first heard it here.
So we created a web across America of websites that are all interlinked. So I don't care where you're at in America, eventually you will hear the name of NewHomePrograms.com.
And you guys got all 50 states tied up.
All 50. But you know what?
Puerto Rico.
When we first thought about opening New Home Programs, this conversation stayed with me that the two of us had. Corey said, we want to help the people who need the money and who need the assistance.
Absolutely.
But we don't want an office that looks like it's just a piece of dirt. We want to do it excellent for them, because we don't want the bars on the windows. We want to create an environment that they are, an ambience that they're looking for, and that, I'm able to do this. And, it starts here. Everything starts in the mind. And so you want to believe, and we want to give that to you. We want to give you the opportunity to trust us, like you said.
Absolutely.
In order to help you accomplish that goal. So that always stayed with me. So when I deal with clients, which is not often because we're traveling now and opening other states, but when I have the opportunity, I try to, connect with them, because to me that's the most important part of the process.
That's awesome. Millie, Corey, I'm thrilled to be here with you guys, and especially on the show when you heard it here first about the strategy these guys had. Folks, you're listening to Small Biz Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by Mega Suits. You can call them today at 888-349-2910. Don't go away, because there's more right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is?
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Welcome back to the show. Our guests today are Corey and Millie Kamadiner. They are the owners of NewHomePrograms.com. They have a couple of offices here in the Houston area. They have a couple of offices in Florida. They have a couple of offices coming in the very near future in 2 other states. I mean, you guys are really doing very well, you know, and I asked you a question in the last segment about experience, how much business experience that you guys have. And the thing that I like best is that you said we had none, but you had this faith and this commitment to your level of success, or to the success that you envisioned, and you guys are living that right now. Now, Corey, you said you wanted to sort of touch on that experience.
You know, a lot of people have the background, they got the business experience, they got the credentials, the awards, but the problem is they're going out of business and they don't understand why. And there's a story in the Bible, and it's about a man named Peter. Peter was a fisherman, him and his brother Andrew, okay? We know that they're businessmen because the Bible says his business partner was John and James. See, they both owned boats. They were fishermen. There's 2 instances. The first time when Jesus met Peter, okay? Peter had come back from a night trip fishing. He caught nothing, but he's the businessman. That's his specialty. So the Lord told him, cast your net out. And it said that so many fish came in that net that he called his business partner, John, to come help. And still, it was too much fish. So the next time we find that they went fishing again. They went out night fishing. And after Jesus had been resurrected, he came back and he was seen by many people. And again, they went fishing all night, didn't catch a single fish, but they're professional fishermen. And what did the Lord say? Throw your net over the right side of the boat. And once again, they brought in an abundance of fish. See, it wasn't about Peter's business experience. It was about God being in control. And when God tells you to do something, if you obey it, you're going to prosper. So I believe in these days and age that you don't have to have the business experience, but you have to have discernment when God's speaking to you. Good. And when he speaks to you and you obey it, you're going to prosper. And that's how God's going to get glory in small business and big business, because he wants people that are obedient that he can lift up in the business community and said, that's my servant.
You know what? As you tell that story, I'm reminded of, you know, I'm always candid on this show.
Sure.
And I talk about the good and the bad in my life. And there was a point in time where I got so convinced of my own greatness that I fell.
Wow.
And lost everything and had to become aligned with my maker again and sort of get some, you know, I had to get a tune up in my thinking. And as you put it, when you talk about business experience, sometimes we can rely too heavily on what we think we can do. And I really like that story because that resonates even in my own life, how getting back in touch and in connect and close to God helped me to rebuild myself and touch other families and touch other people and do things on a larger scale than I've ever done before. Amen. I really love that. And I think that if you're listening to this, this really should inspire you, I would think, that even if you lack the experience,
right?
You know, if you have a great relationship with your God,
right,
and you have the faith and the intent to do great things,
Right.
what can stop you?
Well, see, that's the point, John, is that a lot of times people don't go into business because they feel like they don't have this. And I hear this because I'm a consultant, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this all the time. Well, that's what I was talking about, closet entrepreneurs.
Right.
They know that God is wanting them to deploy their gifts and talents.
Right.
That's what these guys are doing. See, they deploy their gifts and talents, and God wants people to deploy their gifts and talents because they come here with that as standard equipment at birth.
Right.
But a lot of times they'll oh my God, I got to be careful here. They go to school and they get degrees, and now they intellectualize their way out of doing the thing that they've been told to do.
That's right.
And what's cool is God gives people very specific instructions. We didn't ask these guys that question, but I promise you they had very specific instructions about what to do. He even said it, that they get a word on where to go next.
Certainly.
Even though it may not make sense to them in the physical realm, but that's not where they're operating.
Yeah.
So they're automatically at an advantage because they're operating in a realm outside of where people's senses work. And of course, that's what scares the daylights out of people too, is because now they're paying attention to their senses and not their spirit. I believe everybody has a caller ID on their spirit. Yeah.
And that's why the word says, lean not on your own understanding.
Absolutely.
And that's really hard to do.
That's
really, really hard to do.
You know what? It takes training, doesn't it, Millie?
Yes.
It takes training where you do it enough until it becomes part of you. Now it's not that big of an issue for you. Everybody else may freak out, but it's not that big of an issue for you because you've done it over and over
It's
and
still
over
hard.
again.
Our human side, our human flesh has to die every day because our spirituality and our flesh are in an everyday battle. But like you said, in order to get back sometimes in touch with God, you have to kind of like get to that place where we don't want to go there.
Right.
But sometimes because God loves us so much, He let us go through that valley of shadow and death because He's there with us. And that's the only instance where we're going to recognize my Maker is here with me.
Yeah.
And if everything is happy and everything is great, sometimes we're like not very thankful for those things. And God says, you know what? The bottom line is you're in this earth to give me glory. So
that's right.
Check yourself.
Well, you know what? And to your point, Millie, I think, like as you said, it is hard.
Yeah.
Even for myself, I'm a walking example of what God can do for someone. And even now, every time I get ready to do something that calls for a large degree of faith, I do sometimes try to intellectualize, the outcome.
I hear you.
and there are times when you have to defeat yourself and say, look, this is the right thing to do. It's gonna help the right people. This is, the direction that God wants me to go in. And
especially when that direction is against everybody else's direction.
That's the part that makes it scary. When you have consultants like myself or Earth saying, hey, you know what? That ain't gonna work. Right. and what's more, had you guys come to me in 2010 and told me that what you were about to do, I admit that I would have been one of those people that said, hey man, this is not the market climate for you to do what it is that you're talking about doing.
You need more listings, not buyers.
Come on, be honest. We told you we were going to Tampa right before we left.
Oh,
what was you thinking?
In all honesty, I was thinking, Lord, be with them.
We appreciate your prayers. We needed them.
But you know what? I am so proud that you guys are doing very well. Again, I have to say that your business is called newhomeprograms.com. If you are in the real estate business or if you are in the real estate market, I encourage you to go to newhomeprograms.com. I encourage you to look at their Facebook pages. They do everything at a high level of professionalism, and I really appreciate you two for operating your business the way that you do.
Well, I tell you what, you guys, I am such a huge fan, and I'm thrilled to be here to actually do this show with you. I just feel better already. I got a class right after this. I am so excited. I'm going to go let loose all over those innocent people because I've been in the room with you guys. So thanks so much for that. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Listen, if you need a customer relationship management system, try Sales Nexus. We use it here on the show. It's a fantastic customer relationship management system. You want to go on salesnexus.com, download your free trial copy. You give you 30 days, and you can even populate your new CRM with some leads, so we can absolutely help you do that. That's what's different about Sales Nexus versus everything else you can get out there. Well, folks, we're in the home stretch. Don't go away. We'll be back right after this.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. This is our short segment. Our guests today are newhomeprograms.com owners, Corey and Millie Kamadiner. We've been talking about their success as business owners, but you know what? I'm not going to give the credit to them. I'm going to give credit to the God that they serve and worship. And they are definitely a faith-based company, and they follow every aspect of that. Now, very quickly, guys, because we are short for time here, I do want to ask you, what's next for New Home Programs? Where do you see yourself as a company, say, over the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, the first thing is we're trying to establish our firm in all 50 states. And I believe in the next probably 5 to 6 months, we'll probably have about 6 states because we already have worked on getting ready for Georgia, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. So we're expanding rapidly through the states. Another thing that we're trying to launch is our own mortgage company under the name Buyers First Home Loans, where we put buyers first. Right. Because with the way the economy is affecting the lenders, a lot of the lenders, they just don't want to do the different programs because there's not money in it. And we know that when home sales start to come back, they try to put the down payment assistance program, which is the first-time home buyers program, they'll kick them down to the side. And our business has been affected even by banks like Bank of America, who pulled out the bond market in every state.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so we don't want to be, you know, left with our company suffering because of what other banks are deciding to do. So that's something that we're going to start in the next probably 6 to 12 months, our own mortgage company, and start hiring loan officers that will complement our new home programs agents. But I believe in less than 5 years, we'll be in all 50 states.
Guys, I want to say thanks so much for coming and being on the show with Irv and I today. It's always a pleasure, and it's very refreshing having you guys in the studio, and you're always welcome back anytime you happen to be in town.
Thank you for having us. It's always our pleasure.
Very
Awesome.
good.
Well, guys, this is the time of the show where Irv and I say goodbye. We want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today, which has been brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. Also, I'll have you know that Corey and Millie will be featured on the cover of Small Business Today magazine in the upcoming months. So right after the first of the year. So you guys stay tuned for that. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. So until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
And Irv and I will see you tomorrow.